He's an author and a rock star. He's reached highs that most can only dream of. He's also hit lows you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. And now he's ready to share that journey and that truth with you on Grind Time with Darren McCarty. Please welcome your host, number 25, Darren McCarty.
Well, you didn't think I could go back to back, you guys? What are you talking about? Yes, this is Grind Time with Darren McCarty. This is your host, four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, on this Wednesday, March 27th. Yes, the day after Turtle Day. Thank you again to my friends and guests yesterday. Meltdown from WRAF 101.1 and the starting left winger on my all-celebrity team, and obviously Uncle Joey, Dave Coulier, also a great friend, and a D-man on the alumni team, also on my all-media team. We had a good time breaking it down. As joined, I am always Mr. Krakowski over there, working the equipment. As always, Sensei, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, dude. Just good job last night. I mean,
fun, wasn't it?
Dude.
We'll get into that. I better introduce Perry, even though I took him golfing today, first time, and he actually played good.
Oh.
We're actually starting late at 8:37 today because Perry was too busy upstairs going through his interviews with Golf Channel and stuff like that, talking about how great of a putter he is and how he can help out Tiger and Jordan and whatever. All this sort of stuff. So, Perry, how are you, bud?
Doing great, Mac. God,
that was fun today, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. The last 24 hours have been just whirlwind.
It was good. Yeah. Let's get back. Let me hear what you guys had to say about yesterday. So if you didn't check it out, you can, obviously, because we're podcasting. And that was the first time. I'm going to start. So it was the first time that I was really able to sit down with a group and talk about the March 26th game, that being the game, the Sweet Revenge, the game to get the revenge on Lemieux, and then also scoring the overtime winner. And, you know, that sort of in hindsight is sort of the game that brought the whole Red Wing Nation, as I've said, as I tell in my tale, I guess, as you could say, as an entertainer, a comedian, whatever you want to say, traveling throughout Michigan. But to be able to do that, to be able to spend it with guys that I've known for over 20 years, you know, in 2019, I guess for me, I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful to be able to be in the spot in this brand new studio. As you can see, we're going to touch, I want to talk about that in a bit too. But Tim, start us off. What, from your perspective from going on, I didn't really dig into where you were when March 26, 97 happened, but how did everything play out for you as an anniversary of that date with everything that went yesterday?
Perfect.
And why perfect?
Because it was exactly what I had in my head. It was.
Isn't that brilliant?
Seen it.
It was exactly the way that the one
studio,
thing that you'll find here at Grind Time, even though it's with Darren McCarty, it's with Darren, Perry, and Tim, because that's the one thing that I slowly realizing is that. You know, I've known for a long time, unfortunately, Perry knows how to deal with me, and people might think that I bully Perry and that I mean to Perry, but it's all in loving jest, and he knows that, so I'm never going to say anything nice about it again. But, no, to hear the perfect, because that's the way I had it. So, you know, you go in and you sort of have it the way you think it's going to be, but the way that it played out, and all I know is that when I got home last night, not only was my wife not asleep, she actually said, "Great job."
Yeah,
she watched. Yeah, that was surprising.
That's awesome.
So, hi, honey, I love you, and congrats on your new vehicle. That's how perfect. So perfect. Was there? Did you have a special moment that you remember? My special moment was when Dave went into his Jay Leno and Robin Williams impersonations. Those were pretty good.
Oh, he was on fire, dude, and he was just.
That's just him, night. Man. That's like I get that. You should. Man, like you said, you can't do a drunk me with unless he's drunk. But dude, him and I have had so many stupid, funny, fun conversations throughout the day. Throughout the years. That I don't know. It was awesome just to be able to hear it like that. How about you, Perry? Because you know, coming from the hockey background and sort of living through that different than Tim. How was yesterday?
It was fantastic. I mean, as we've talked about, you know, they've skated with alumni and that and we've sat around many times and talked about a whole bunch of different stuff, but to sit and talk about that game and get everybody's perspective was just it was perfect. And what a great way to open this studio.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this for a minute. So I didn't really get to talk about it. If you're watching this on Facebook, unfortunately, if you're on the podcast, I'm going to describe to you that if you've been to an arena or any place and they hang jerseys up in the rafters, right? The retired jerseys, obviously, in Little Caesars, which moved over from Joe Louis, which moved over from Olympia. You have Gordie Howe and Ted Lindsay and Sawchuck and Abel and Delvecchio and Lidstrom and Red Kelly now.
Yeah,
up
number
there.
4.
So, yeah, you had the greats. But, you know, in my view, these are my Hall of Famers. So, from the Bruise brothers on the far right, both Proby and Joey, who...
You know what, Mac? Let's do this right, man.
Oh, okay.
Hang on. Since we're here, since it's just us, right? We're doing a little intimate version of the grind time, right?
Well, yeah, this is the end of the month. We're going to do like a little, because we're in the new studio and we got so much great stuff coming up. I wanted to, I think it's important in life that we, you know, as I preach about the escalator and instead of taking the up and down one, we're taking the one in the airport that tells you to stand and walk. We're going to stand right now and we're going to go through it. So you want...
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this camera right here.
Okay.
It's not going to be perfectly steady or whatever, but I'm going to pan over.
All right. Just start at the end?
Yeah.
All right. So as you can see, Bruise brothers and... Obviously, Joey would be in the grind line, but Proby, you know, being more of a life influence, as I always say, is that he didn't know where the line was, but he was able to cross it and show me where it was. So everything that, you know, just life to be able to get through and to have those two guys not only as guys I looked up to, you know, growing up and wanting to... Yeah, I mean, wanting to be the 25 in the middle of those and being able to be there, that's pretty wild.
Amazing, dude.
That's pretty wild. And then moving on down to, you know, this guy should be in the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about it. Chris Osgood. We've played went back the longest together. We started in Adirondacks and playing Sega Genesis, getting shit-faced all night in the minors, wishing we were Red Wings and being able to win cups together. He's I'm happiest for the fans that get to see Chris Osgood on Fox Sports Detroit now because they get to see some of his personality and the way that he messes with John Keating. And I mean, that's just Ozzy. That's just, you know, 20 years of that guy. Obviously mine right behind me. Why wouldn't it be? Just to remind me in case my CTE. Right, exactly. I mean, you know, I guess I can put it in the same thing. Oh, what did we do? Yeah. Nails, Draper. Chris Draper, the one of the nickname, Nails. Self-inflicted. Actually, Lenny Dykstra was called Nails, and Drapes, I think, did him better. So, 2 Z's by Drapes, by the way. And then Shaker Maltz, which, by the way, I had to keep Ozzy and Maltz apart from each other because those two motherfuckers would fuck with me so bad. Like that's 1 and 1A when shit goes wrong in the dressing room. So they have to stay as far apart as they want because they sit to each other and they scheme and they drink beers and then they focus on other people. It's not good.
So we need to bring them in at the same time.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bring. I'd like to bring. You know what? Like that's just Perry. That'll be your favorite day of the year when I bring
absolutely.
those guys in and they just rip my ass like they used to.
I know what's
going to
happen in Drapes. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, Perry you might have to sit out that day. We might not have to. Do
I would
that.
not miss that.
No, when's your birthday?
October.
Okay, maybe I'll do a free birthday in
next
October.
season.
And then if you can't see, we got all the cups. In case you, Perry, do you remember how many I got? 4. In case I don't have my house coat on me, so I'll just raise the 4.
The 4 fingers.
Hey, what was this bullshit too? Trying to put a hit out on me with my boy Jay Adams.
Well, yeah, the Detroit cast. You know,
they tried to do that, right? I had to put E in his place.
Our family members here at Radio for One Studios.
Did you hear what I did, Tim?
No, I didn't.
I had to put E in his place.
Uh-oh.
So I told him, I said, listen, you know, you start coach because he said he didn't put a bounty out. He wasn't part of that. And I said, then you have to stand up for yourself and make it known because that's the thing that hurt me the most. fact that you co-signed on it.
Yeah.
So don't ever do that again, or I'll put you in the Mike Walters category, and you don't want to be in that. Or the Beta O'Boger. You don't want to be in those categories. Right, exactly. So Jay, who was great enough, he was here last night too. Also Jay Adams, our friend, who's he's on his way this weekend to, I can't tell, audition for, pretty cool part. So
he's an actor, stuntman, former West wrestler.
Yeah, and we played the
and hockey
UCP Pucksters.
Yeah. I mean, Tim, do you have...
Hey, how about this one? Oh, Tim, so you'll love this, right? Okay?
Yeah.
Perry's proud moment of Saturday. Okay? Jay lines up against me off the face-off, right? So if there's a bounty out and there's some chirping going on, right? So they'll push and shoving. Does Perry have his phone out? No. What do? I took him right into the boards. Took the big fella down, right? Where's Perry with the camera to show this so I could just skate away? Nowhere to be seen. Camera's in his pocket. At least, hey, now he just points in his pocket. Did you get that? No, my phone's in my pocket.
Tim, I'm out there reffing by myself.
Oh, my God. I'm out there with it.
I mean, by myself,
It's not like you're crocheting or doing your taxes.
He's reffing an alumni game, which is like, oh, my God, you're the ref for the friggin' Washington Generals and the friggin' Harlem Globetrotters game. Yeah.
It sounds like a position where you can't win or lose.
Well, and
like you just can't
Max
win.
should have known. Where was this all taking place? At the end boards, behind the goal. You know I don't go down there.
No, I understand that, Perry, but that's where all the action was. Anyways, I only played the first half and skeetered out of there, and that was good. So I think we ended up winning.
And Todd Bertuzzi took over once you left. And
you know what? I handed down. He's he's one of the younger members of the team, so a lot of skill. Whenever he's ready to take over the star role, the star scoring role of the alumni, I'm more than willing to give it to you. As you understand, I didn't get those 4 rings by leading the
Tim,
team
you got to pull up
scoring.
the video. You've got to pull up the video.
I'm in the locker room
of JR's when he was asked regarding a possible bounty on Darren for this game.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that in the locker room?
Oh yeah. You got to go down a little bit on it.
Okay.
You'll find it. You'll see the big.
Oh,
the big
Jay
fella.
Adams. Yeah, right here. Okay.
So listen to what Jay had to say to.
Hang on 1 second. I got it pulled up here.
But I didn't. Here's the thing. You said that he chirped me. I didn't even listen to the chirp because how many times have I even chirped? I thought I gave mine back anyway.
You had a good response.
I did,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
My skates weren't even sharp either. No, seriously, I'm wheeling around. I haven't had my skates sharp in like a year. I got chunks sitting out of it, and I'm making stuff happen. You're not helping because there's ruts in the ice, and you're not even fixing them.
No,
they're there. You're letting guys skate over them and hurt themselves.
It was that didn't help that the Zam was down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Isn't that 2 years in a row at the rink?
I believe it is. Yeah. That put a major impact on the speed of the game. Mike Ward, who puts together this charity event, and they raised $18,000 for United Cerebral Palsy, and he said I sent him a little video, and he goes, "Are we that slow?" And I told him, I go, "No, I just put it in slow motion for you."
Nah, no.
Here's Jay Adams.
So I'm here with J.R. McCracken Adams, and I'm here to verify the Detroit cast bounty that was put on the head of Darren McCarty, and rumor has it that you're the man that's going to take care of the issue.
I mean, Mike and Jay and E, I didn't bring it up. They brought it up. They said, you know what? We need you to go after Darren. He's been talking too much. All he keeps doing is raising the 4 fingers whenever anybody has something to say. So you got to go after him for us. I wasn't going to do it. I feel bad for Darren. He's getting up there in age. So I feel bad for him. But, I mean, Mike and Jay, E, those are my guys. I have no choice. So sorry, Darren. But, yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed your time on the Russian 5 movie because nobody's going to be seeing you pretty soon.
I like it. And again, you know what? Very scary man. On his feet.
Yeah.
Not on the ice. No, bro. It's all right. It didn't fruition. Oh, look at that. That was today, Tim.
But you got the response on there. Darren's response to this before. This was all
nice
pretty good.
Oh, there's my response. Yeah. Yeah, so this was before the game, and this is really just what I had to say about it.
So I'm here with Darren McCarty, getting ready for the Wings alumni game against the UCP Pucksters.
That's a disgusting
and just
look.
got done speaking with
I'm
J.R.
impressed.
McCracken Adams about a bounty put out by the Detroit cast on Darren. Darren, how are you responding to this?
Well, the most disturbing part of the whole part of that conversation is I get it from Mike. He's a little fucking weasel prick, fucking fruitcake. And Jay, I nailed it there.
Checked all the
Beta
boxes.
old fucking Boger, fucking, even though he's a fucking Reggie Republican, but throwing Jesus in on this, he's pulling a bounty too. I just can't believe that, but it breaks my heart. But in any case, you fucking idiots. If you're gonna put a bounty on me in a hockey game, why wouldn't you put somebody that can actually fucking skate? He's a big fucking guy. He does great movies. Billy Gator, great wrestler. Eddie Venom. Motherfucker can't skate though, and I'm gonna fucking ragdoll his ass around if he fucking comes near me. Fucking take that to the bag. Grind time out. Pretty much it. Game mode right there.
Yep.
Right there. Did that while I was stoning my skates with the biggest fat dip in my lip ever in the world.
Who's the old guy here?
Yeah, look at that. I don't know. It's all like year in review videos.
I don't know.
Look at that. Hey, and you wonder why I shaved. That is grizzled. That's
all right.
Grizzled experience.
You've earned those gray hairs, buddy.
So that was so Per, you I have things to do Friday. Wings are playing Jersey, and I'm doing stuff. But you got alumni game. There's also people in Windsor.
In
Friday.
Windsor, yeah, at LaSalle Arena.
LaSalle Arena on Friday.
Yep.
So miss that one. Oh, Saturday I'll be at DC Sports, Lakeside Mall. 1 o'clock. I know that one. That's just right at the top of my head right now. I mean, let's see. What else? So, let's talk like this studio. So, Tim.
Yeah.
So, my big thing, obviously, aesthetically, with the banners, which is, the big-ass TV here, the clock, the table, right?
Yeah.
Now, talk to us and tell the listeners here about what a mother was it as big of a bitch to put in and haul around, or
table?
just the table, the
No.
process. No,
the table was easy, man. The table was we took the legs off it. It's got these big. This was a custom made.
How big is
table
this
by
table?
Brad Wolf. It's 11 feet by 40 inches.
I mean I can make a huge mess on this thing.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
you're well on
I'm
your
working.
way.
I'm on my way. I got pistachios.
Is your pot stachio?
My pot
That
pistachios.
was great.
Yeah.
I wish somebody send me some pot pistachios.
Yeah, we just took. It's a big custom piece made by a listener, Detroit Cast listener, Brad Wolf, and he did it custom piece by piece, and he delivered it, and we had it upstairs all together, and all we did was pop the legs off and brought the top of it down. Troy was here, and Travis Bully was here, and we carried the top down, and then we carried the legs down. It really wasn't that hard. No.
What was the hardest part?
Hardest part of this project, the renovation project, was the floor. By far.
floor?
The floor, yeah. We had 3 areas of cat piss, just complete from a cat. that
Sure
Walters
wasn't
had.
Mike piss?
Could have been Mike piss.
Yeah,
Could have been
fuck.
both. I don't know, man.
Yeah, who
But
knows?
there were 3 deadly spots, and we had to use kills on the entire floor. We had to rip out the carpet. We had to do 2 layers of kills on the entire floor, and I did 4 layers in the cat piss spots. And
I'm taking for everybody at home. That's a lot of kills.
It's a lot of kills. 4 coats of kills. I mean,
okay.
you buy kills and usually kill. The point of kills is to kill whatever you got, and you move on. It took 2 layers of kills on the whole floor and 4 layers in the cat piss spots. And then a listener came over and took these heat registers.
Yeah,
and
that was huge.
There was cat piss fucking rusted into those. And,
Rusted cat piss.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Great band.
Way to go, Mike. Yeah, great band. Yeah, I got their favorite hit.
Walters, there's your new band name.
So what was the? Because I'm trying to think. So what did it take? Almost how long How long did it have?
2 months?
2 months?
Has it been 2 months? At least a month and a half.
I don't know.
I mean, we had it felt like we were hoping to do. There was like a February 24th date that we were dreaming about, like something.
Yeah, so it was like a month. Which, so for all the listeners out here, so now that we have, and I think not just with the setup and people are watching on Grind Time with Darren McCarty on Facebook or on YouTube or listening, just the aesthetics in this room. So what are we like? What do listeners have to look forward to? Not only in the next room, because the room that used to be the studio is going to be the band room now, or to be hooked up. So that's what we're working on next.
Yes.
What about as far as in this room? What else do you look forward to?
So in this room, all we have to do is there's a very little bit of echo in the room, just the slightest bit. And there's special acoustic foam, and if you look behind, I'll show Perry's camera shot. If you look behind Perry can guide people to the acoustic foam behind you. Mm-hmm. Point that out like a Price is Right one. Girl.
Wow, way to go, Perry White.
So that is 3-inch acoustic pyramid foam, and what that does is that in squared off rooms where you have parallel walls, that foam is designed to take the reflections and stop them and absorbs them so they don't keep going back and forth, right? We got a lot. We covered that whole area. We have some over here here in my position, and we just need a little bit more.
Okay.
Like we need some above. See above those pieces where the stopwatch is?
Yeah.
By the way, we didn't start the stopwatch. But we need some above that to the right of the stopwatch, and then above each of the jersey window things, there's going to be some of them. And we're just going to deaden the room a little bit more, just a pinch more. We might even float some stuff up here on this really nice wood ceiling. We might float some of the sound stuff there. And just take one more step at just making sure, because you hear that slap back? You see it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Still in there, and we want that. We want to do our best to get that going.
Now, is it easier or harder in a bigger room?
It's harder in a bigger room.
So, like, because would you consider this a big
drum room? This would be a great room to record drums in.
Okay.
Because you have the irregular shape of the ceiling, and
it's
all natural wood.
People have slanted the ceiling with the open window.
Yeah, just all that real wood up there, and it's just oil rubbed, and it's real wood. That is desirable. So, like, if you could just, like this would be a great tight, drum room. But once we're done, it'll be like a vocal booth. That's what we want. We want this big room to be as tight as a vocal booth, and it's just going to take some more of the foam.
Right.
And what that allows us to do is it allows us to turn the mics up a little bit more. You can soak the most out of the mics when you're not getting those slapbacks from the walls.
Right.
So that's it. We need a couple more lights. Like, it's a little bit dark where Coulier was sitting. You know, everybody saw him. It all looked great. Like, there's nothing bad.
Right. No. That's and I think this, as you know, when we started this like a year ago, and then we'll get into like, because this is the part of the process of where we've got to. But the one thing is that I think from day one, if you go back to the earliest broadcast, is that the transparency is the one thing that we were gonna always have. So we're growing with the listeners out there every step of the way. So as I'm hearing it from you, I'm asking these questions for the first time, especially when it comes to learning about the technical part, because all I know is that I got a lot of room to move around and put stuff here, and it's comfortable. The last night with the conversation with the full room, I look forward to, whether it's next week or the week after, to have some of the comedians in here and doing a round table of that, and just different guests that are on their way in. So
that makes me so happy that everybody said, like, I gotta tell you, the biggest compliment so far, really, like, and it's not even just a subtle thing, but the Detroit cast did 2 shows, like, and that first show, they were all weird and freaked out, you know, because this was such a big buildup, you know what I mean, and they're the ones that asked the listeners to donate and help with the renovation.
Yeah,
so they had a lot of, thank you to all the Detroit Cast listeners. By the way, Grind Time listeners, if you're listening, our brothers at the Detroit Cast, Sunday through Thursday, they can do a 5-day-a-week podcast. You check them out on DetroitCast.com or any place that you listen to podcast. They went to their listeners and said, man, we've been in the same studio for 5 years. We want to raise money to renovate. We're bringing on new people. We got Darren McCarty. We got J. Chris Newberg. They're making a podcast network. They went to their listeners and said, hey, can you help us renovate the studio? And their listeners came through in a big way.
Huge.
I mean, like $12,000-$13,000. And it happened in the matter of a week. That they
Well,
raised
it
money.
just allowed, I think, everybody what whether you're listening to Grind Time or whatever, how you've ever gotten here, the fact that, you realize that this is an extended family, and that's how we look at it too, as appreciative, but as, growing together. Now, listen, Grind Time with Darren McCarty is a different show than the Detroit Cast. Let's not get it twisted, but we all have those black sheep in our family, right? So I guess that's why I keep Walters around, right? And then Jay, he's a lawyer, so you got to sort of have one on retainer.
But as soon as we did that, as soon as that GoFundMe was completed and the Detroit Cast listeners stepped up in such a huge way, my goal, I'll be honest with you, I really can't take a lot of credit because I stole this layout from the gold standard. There's one
Joe Rogan. But see, here's the difference too, that I think and this is more so, and I know obviously Joe Rogan's smokes pot.
Yep.
So he's got that connection of the share where I don't know the man. I'm just speculating that he's really comfortable with who he is and what he does. Yeah. So he looks at it like me, that nothing's a threat. Right. It's just sort of influence. So he's influencing us. Yes. Why? Because he's the gold standard. Because he's started. This is his vision. He's the Elon Musk, the Zuckerberg, the whatever to what podcasts are. And why do you not? If I'm gonna want to be a great hockey player, and Rick Tocchet was my favorite hockey player, and I wanted to be him, why the hell now would I not want to be Joe Rogan and use, right? So what did he teach?
Especially because he started from nothing. He started his podcast at the back of the Comedy Store.
Right.
They would just do it in the back of the Comedy Store. I mean, he started a long time ago. So he went through all these little iterations. He did it at his house for a while. So I can totally trust him because I've watched his whole journey. I've watched Rogan's whole development. And I go, oh, hey, he got new mics. Okay, let me remember that, And of course, I have an audio engineering background.
But that's so important because that's the way that things, and we've talked about it, like when we're talking about our relationship, just on the same, we're on the same, we're in the same band traveling down the highway in the same vehicle, right? But that's us. But if you didn't, but we come from two different places, right? We're used to all the audio video. It's the same thing. Is that I know how to speak into the mic, but dude, don't ask me to touch a button.
Right.
Perry over here with glasses on, pretending that he's like doing something on the computer. What are you doing on the computer?
He's chatting with the Facebook people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you?
I love
Ron
that.
Cooper.
Smoozing with your mom, Ellen?
No. Ron Cooper wants to know where can he see the the Probert movie. And
I think the Probert movie is coming out in premiere the 11th.
What's the deal? Dude, I know we've been busy with the Russian Five, but why don't we, what's going on? Why aren't those people in here?
The 11th.
The 11th.
The Mike, there's an email today.
Okay. And who are those people? Do you know these people? That are doing
they're out of Calgary.
Are you comfortable with them?
No. I don't. No, Gordy, well, obviously Danny, which is Proby's wife and stuff like that.
She's involved?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but, so that's, I know the premiere is the 11th or 12th.
Is it a
that's
documentary?
That thing, so a few weeks.
Is it a documentary? Did they make a...
It's based off, so Christy McClellan Day wrote Proby's book, right, which Proby wrote and then Danny finished because he passed away, and then her son Gordy made it into a movie. Wow. So it's based on his book. I've seen it, and, the one thing that I take away from it is it doesn't pull any punches. It shows you the real, and it's just Bob. It's Bob as you see Bob the way that he was, good, bad, or indifferent.
Are there actors, or is he just...
No, it's
a documentary.
It's a documentary.
Okay.
Yeah, with some clips and stuff like that.
Okay. And does Gordy narrate it, or just everybody's talking, right? Danny
Yeah,
probably talks.
bunch of-
and-
yeah,
okay.
exactly.
All right.
Different people are talking.
Wow. Well, I
It's
want
a
to learn
different,
more about that, man.
Yeah.
So
No,
they're gonna
yeah,
have
it's very definitely interesting.
Okay. I'd love to have them on the show. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, that's what we're waiting to see in the next few weeks what's going on, but yeah.
Because clearly we're a fucking movie promoting machine. I don't know if you heard about it, but if you have a movie or a documentary that you need to promote, you come to the Grind Time.
Why don't you? I mean, why wouldn't you anyways if you got a great idea or
mean,
something that you need to share? I mean,
Our
the worst
resume
thing
speaks for itself.
the worst thing that I could say is Perry wouldn't even use that. I mean, that's like the worst that's going to happen. I wouldn't even give that to Perry.
Give what?
Whatever somebody wants to promote, I wouldn't even make Perry watch that. You know, I'm just making a point.
Okay.
I'm making a point that if anybody has an idea,
Yeah.
whether it's a movie, product, stuff like that, the worst that can happen is that I would say I wouldn't even give Perry that. That's like the worst.
No.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going a long way to put
I
you
did.
down. It's a
Gosh,
long
I'm
way to
tired.
insult Perry.
As well as I hit it today.
Oh, are you guys?
So-
I got two golf zombies. That's what I'm dealing with right
It was
Is
March
that what's going on
27th.
right now?
We were out there today, March.
Well,
27th.
you
now.
see,
Okay, I understand
Tim,
now. I got golf zombies in front of me. I get it.
It's the first day of the year. It was the first because I figured to celebrate the March 26th and a beautiful day today that Perry and I went out and played afternoon golf, and he did comment about second last hole that the nice weather and the wind and all that it might make you a little extra tired. So. Especially after last night and today, but
Yeah.
how were you? I was happy with the way I struck the ball today.
Yeah, you hit the ball really well.
No, I
where'd
know
you
I did,
guys
Perry.
play?
How about were you happy with the way you
I
played?
was. Oh shit, you saw. Yeah, I was powering. I was hit the
Of
ball.
course I saw. Tell the
hit a
people. Hey, Tim, put it this way. My buddy Nick, we played with, Nick Antonucci, and he goes to me about the 12th hole. He goes, "Yo, you brought a ringer out here? Is Perry a scratch?"
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That
Perry was
pretty
like
funny.
one or two over after 12 holes, and then he
Yeah.
I think he doubled two in a row. But I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you were good early. What do you
Yeah.
think? Do you think it's easier because you don't have the bad habits?
Absolutely.
Is that what
You're
it
just
is?
going and swinging. Beginning of every year, my first couple rounds, it's everything's smooth, relaxed.
So how do we change it this year?
We
How do we
We
practice?
play more golf.
Play
Yeah, we
more. We
practice.
play more golf.
Yes. I think every Wednesday before the show would be a great idea. Get us
Yeah,
in the
we'll put that in. We'll see how your behavior.
I mean, look at our
does. We
second
might be able
hole.
to reward
Tim,
you with some
I
golf.
think you've got video or video because the audio. Second hole of the day, par 3,
Okay.
and Darren sticks one to about 10 feet, and I proceeded to stick one to about 8 feet, but we both missed the putts.
Is that?
Yeah, but at least I didn't scream mine by 8 feet. Now I thought mine had it.
Yours did have a chance, slight chance.
Look at and I just want everybody to see that this is comfort. I should be in Europe. I mean, look at that. Can you take that swing back, Tim?
Yeah.
Can we do it again?
Yeah. Hang on one second.
Because I need a more release. Like that's a great address. Little too forced.
Is that you, Mac?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, we got lots of stuff to work on. I mean, did you see your feet twist on your follow through?
I'll tell you what, he stuck it, so I wouldn't
Yeah,
work on too
yeah.
much.
What's going on with your back foot?
Oh yeah,
you swinging
look at
a
that.
bat?
Look where the belt buckle is. Right at the target. It don't matter how that back foot moves around.
Tim, you're in for a treat if you ever golf with me. You talk about commentary on the course. He'll hold a pose after a shot. I mean, he stands there in the same position.
And I'll talk
for
through
10, 15 seconds. He's
we
like,
gotta-
it's going through my mind. I'm doing it in
Cinderella
slow.
boy.
I'm doing it in slow motion now in my head.
At Augusta.
Like, look at this. Like the great address.
200 yards. He's going to use a 3-iron.
That was an 8-iron. You know, it had a chance. Went by the hole because you know what? Somebody asked me earlier. He said that had a chance to go in. I said, well, it should. I mean, I've had a hole in one with that 8-iron before. It knows how to make a hole in one. Da-da-da-da.
It knows how.
It knows how. That 8-iron does. I'm not really. You know what? I got work to do, but
Oh,
a lot. Like
when
you
it
can
comes
really
to
learn a
golf,
lot
we all
about
do, right?
your swing.
Yeah. Well, we can.
No, I mean
we can play
about
some more.
watching video and stuff, but that just sort of kicks it off. I mean, now with the bugs, I mean, you kept me out of it since I've been back. I haven't picked up a club since I left Florida before Christmas.
Okay. And that's all you were doing down there, right?
I was every day. So just to get it back, it's like bugs back. So that's good. As my wife says, it gets good because it'll keep me out of the casino, which is probably
That's
true.
a good thing.
It is. No,
Yeah.
it's great.
And get your game going. At least you have a chance to.
We
odds to
gotta
win
get it.
money.
We gotta get it. We gotta get it solid. We gotta get on that celebrity tour. Hopefully, Grind Time will bring us up there because obviously the 4 Cups don't get us there. Right?
Yeah.
What do you want to get on? Celebrity what?
The celebrity golf thing, the one they do in Tahoe and the one they do in a couple times a year. You see Romo and all those guys.
Is
Aaron
it like
Rodgers.
is it like
I mean,
a
dude,
pro-am thing
I
where they
see.
pair
I
you up
see
with
Larry
them?
the Cable Guy whacking it around. Charles Barkley. I mean, I could
Charles
beat
Barkley,
him.
geez, yeah.
I got more rings than he does.
Well, and they're probably due for another hockey player to win because remember Danny Quinn was tearing it up for a while.
Yeah,
there,
there's a
and,
bunch
they
of
got
guys.
some
A lot of
good
the
hockey.
Pitchers and kicker like punters. Jeff Fiegels, who kicked for years, 20 years, punter. Played with him a bunch of times. Those punters are great.
Yeah, because they got time to play golf.
Well,
they're not,
I mean-
they're not
And
really
their bodies were never beat up.
practicing. Yeah, right. They can actually get around. They got to swing.
So what did we say? What is this? So if yesterday was what, 17, 18? This is like 9.
Be 18.
Yesterday was?
No,
Or
this is 18.
This is
Yesterday was
18?
17.
So
malts.
that's
It's malts.
18.
Am I right? Here, let me check.
Yeah, it's 18.
Yeah, but my whole point is just the progression moving on. So let's say within, when was our first show?
Our first show was. I can go to that.
Literally a year ago, right
Like
around
April?
now.
Well, see, there were some of those test runs. That's the thing is that we had, we were really in spring training, right? We had some of those just test conversations. We did some test phone calls. We did some shit with Walter sitting down here. Like, there's some early stuff that I don't even know if we save the files.
Yeah,
right?
when did we do that though?
that
was
was
that-
March.
That was March.
Yeah,
Okay.
because when did we go to the premiere? When did we go see the Russian Five for the first time? What was that?
Right in the beginning of April.
Okay, so yeah, this is right now,
Yeah,
dude. This
this
is a
is-
year.
this
This
is-
is our anniversary right now.
I was gonna say, when did you get so fucking high in my truck that fucking first time driving down to the fucking thing?
Right. What day was that?
And I was that's how I'll always remember.
That
is
was the
fucking,
day I remember.
got
Yeah,
Tim
that
so
was the
fucking
beginning.
high that he was
Dude.
fucking paranoid. One of the first times we were hanging out, and I take him downtown to the job.
I'm
That's what
Darren
it was.
McCarty's Explorer. We had a meeting, and then the next thing I know, I'm in Darren McCarty's Explorer, flying down the lodge. You had to be there for the signing at 6, and it was 7 o'clock or something like that. And he's flying down the lodge, and he's got a big fat fucking spliff that he pulls out. He's like, "Hey, you smoke?" I'm like, "Yeah, I smoke a little bit." And I'm thinking to myself, "Watch yourself, watch yourself." He's got some celebrity NASA weed. Be careful, And he's like, "Yeah, this is some Afghan, blah blah blah. Check this out." And I did, dude. I was careful. I took 4 little hits. I wasn't trying to be a hero. And dude, we're talking a mile a minute. We're catching up on music and marriage and everything. We're just like catching up at a million miles an hour, talking about the show. Blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, dude, I was a second away from telling you to pull over into Sinai, the Grace Hospital. I swear to God, I'm doing the math on which exit we're at, and I'm like, dude,
You're not the first person that's happened to.
bro,
Dude.
I'm sweating the kind of sweat where you can see a bead of sweat on each pore. That kind of a sweat.
Yeah, that's called a dab sweat. You got the dab sweat from the weed. No, that's your endocannabinoid system has never been so happy. But you know what's so funny about it? Whatever. And no joke. Okay, I'm gonna stop joking here for a minute and say that yes, that's a bad feeling to have. Like especially like the paranoia, especially as a conversation that you don't have to go there because with your system and your education is that there's strains out there for everybody. Mm-hmm. But to me, at the end of the day, the joke is that you weren't gonna die. That it doesn't matter that you weren't.
I know.
I understand. No, but the whole thing is that like because we've all been in that spot, booze, You know, some of us with other illicit
Yeah, but
things.
fuck booze, because listen, what we know for sure with cannabis, if you're using it properly, if you're seeking a true cannabis relationship, we know that you have to have one of those moments that I had in your car. You actually have to have one of those moments.
Yeah.
And that strain actually did me a favor because I stayed calm, and you were fucking awesome, dude. I fell in love with you in that car ride. I knew we were going to be all right because you looked at me. You were talking, right? And I turned to you and I go, Darren, I go, I'm so sorry, but I'm higher than Jesus Christ on the space shuttle right now. And and you go, you didn't even flinch. You hit my shoulder and you go, take a nap. Do you remember that?
Yeah. No, yeah.
I was like,
yep.
I was like 10-4, dude. And all I did, I leaned my seat back and I closed my eyes. And you didn't say a word until a few minutes later, where I came out of it. I sat up, I wiped my face, and I go, "Oh, Darren, I'm so sorry." And you just went right back to talking.
Right. No, but see, and I think let's explore that right now here at Grind Time with Darren McCarty, because those are the moments, not only connection, but and through the plant, you know, the sort of like relationship, but it's just it is as simple as that. It goes back to John 13:34. Be nice. Care for somebody, you know, a little bit more than maybe you care for yourself a little bit in a situation, or have some compassion.
Yeah, man.
And it's sort of and I think
you were
that's
very compassionate at that
But
moment.
that's the greatest thing about the cannabis and the cannabis community and the people that, for the most part, that you know, is that develop that relationship, like you said, to have that moment to say, hey, because, hey, dude, you know, everybody knows how much I smoke and how much I use and whatever.
Yeah.
But if for a minute they don't think I respect the plant, that's the biggest thing is that, I use this and I will smoke, and you can call me a stoner, you can call me whatever you want, but my relationship with this plant is I have the utmost respect for it. And so, because it's giving me life back, and I got to get that way with RSO. I had to get that way with edibles. I had to get that way to know that, okay, I don't want to do that. I'm not in it for that.
Yeah.
It's almost like the stop sign that it'll let you, okay, you're being irresponsible, or, you know, you went too far. Let's check yourself, and then boom, have a nap.
The dividing line between stoner and then whatever you call what, like you and I are, like,
Right.
is the education. That's the dividing line. Like, stoner, God bless you, great. I'm glad. Whatever, be a stoner. You know, wake and bake. You know, whatever. If you're not hurting anybody or hurting yourself, God bless you. There's stoners, right? But then people like you and me who are using cannabis to get us, you know, to keep us sober, to keep us off of other drugs, to keep us.
That's the biggest, to me.
We have to. I hope people take the time to understand that there's more to it than rolling a joint. Like, I've put a lot of time into my cannabis research, like a lot. I'm blessed to know you and Rick Thompson and Jamie Lowell and Brian McCarroll and all the people from Pincana. I'm blessed to have all those people, so I don't have to look very far for answers, right? So, but that's the big difference for people listening, is that, there's stoners and good time and party and use weed and great, God bless you, better than using alcohol. But then there's people who are really putting a lot of thought and education into it because it's important. It's actually solving other problems for us.
Well, and that's the thing is that it's when you say about, because it's a perception, right? It's a perception of how you've been grown up, or what you've been told, or what's true and what's not. And what I've found, right, is, and what I say, I'm not here to argue, but what do you mean by that? That's what you're saying to this plant. That's what I've done for the past 3.5, 4 years, because this plant has given me my life back. So how can I show it the most respect? Well, I got to get educated on it. And when I get educated on it, right, then, I learn what works for me. I'm going to have this, or I'm going to stay away from this, or I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's my thing, is like people talk, and the chirping's going down because people are getting a larger picture of what we are doing with this show, what we're doing with Darren McCarty right now, and the brand. Like, people are starting to get it.
Right.
But the chirps are there, right? The chirps.
No, but they can't.
And we don't care. But the thing is that, let me ask you this: anybody chirping about Darren, you know, hitting the vape on the show or anything like that? Would you rather have me put a bottle of vodka in front of Darren's mic? Would you prefer that, guys? Everybody out there, who's anti-pot and who doesn't, maybe care to see it or whatever. Let me ask you this. Would you like me to put a bottle of Smirnoff in front of number 25? Would that be better? I say it's not.
Oh, I don't.
know
You know
it's
what?
not.
That's the great thing about Grind Time with Darren McCarty. It's like the same thing as when they told me in comedy they do it this way, and I said that's great. When it's my name's on the top, we do it this way. And in my world, my endocannabinoid system, which we all have, or anything with a spine, right, is glowing and always will be because I know the alternative, and I don't choose to live in the alternative. And if people do, that's their choice.
Yep.
My bottom line is, if you got something to say and you can't say it to my face, or you have an opinion, then why if you don't like it, why the fuck are you going to be around where I am? Go fucking somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't want to see an athlete fucking out doing then go fucking do a movie.
Right.
Right? If you don't want to see me fucking smoke weed, which is what I do, which by the people that I surround myself with, lots do, some don't, that's your prerogative.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
That's what
all,
it is.
yeah.
I ain't got no time for
Well, no, I mean, I don't smoke it. I mean, I used to. I've known all about it, but it just doesn't. It's not for me now.
You don't
at
have
this stage.
you don't have that as many brain cells to be fucking around with.
No, that's true. And see, that's self-awareness.
That's it. There you go.
So Gene Anders says
Yep.
he says ask him if he
You know who
remembers.
Gene Anders is?
Yes, I do. And
You
he
do?
said
Who is Gene Anders?
he was part of the Grinder band.
What did he do in Grindr?
That I don't know. Gene, hurry up and answer.
He
said
Gene was Jim's brother.
Yeah,
Jim
I
Anders, bass
I knew
player.
they were. I knew they were.
Big Gene was our roadie
Okay.
Oh, that's
with the
what-
van,
Okay, so Gene
and
said,
always had the weed. Had a boy, Gino.
ask him if he remembers the first Grinder practice in Mount Clemens.
Yep.
And
It was
somebody
Nova
just-
Driver or Walk on Water
Yep, and
in that small little
he goes,
spot. It was
now
like a
that
garage.
and he said, now that was a big fatty we smoked.
It was.
Now that was a big fatty.
Yeah.
That was. You always did. No, I love, like I said, you don't, and you find this too. We all do, is that people in and out of your life at different times and you share some stuff with. That's the great thing that I find about cannabis. To me, cannabis also means community. Like it's unbelievable. Or I'll stop and I'll be at one of the weed festivals, whether it's High Times or something else, and I'll stop and I'll look around and I'll be like, fuck all this shit you put on TV and shit you put on the internet, because that's not the world I live in. I live in this world where I'm looking around and I see 5 different colors of people. I see ages from 18 to 88, 98. I see conversations going on by people that just wouldn't have a clue, right? It's the world that I live in, it has cannabis in it.
Yeah, don't believe the hype, man. There's people.
No, and
out
make
here-
your own decision. Get educated. If somebody tells you something you're not sure, that's the greatest thing about the millennials.
I mean, just look at the shit that we've been doing just since doing Grind Time. All the things that we've been involved with, the Russian Five, the cannabis stuff,
Michigan Warriors.
Michigan Warriors. It's like I'm like,
Marty.
I'm Marty Sheedy. I'm here to
Project
tell you,
Scissorgates.
don't believe the hype, man. Turn off the news channel. Take the news channel jersey that you wear every day off, and just look at the person next to you. I'm telling you, it's a lot better than they're trying to make us believe it is. I promise you, life is good, man. Life is good, and it's only getting better.
And when you say that, Tim, life is good, but it's not easy.
It's not
so
easy.
So don't mix up good and easy.
10-4.
Right?
Amen. Yep.
So good means that there's good people out there if you keep your intentions pure, right? And that's what it is. You're the only one to know. The self-awareness and knowledge is power. At the end of the day, you're the only one who knows, right? Good is not easy because life is not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be challenging. Trust me. Trust me. But you know what? At the end of the day, if you keep getting up and you keep fighting, then not only will you fight easier fights and choose not to fight those. You don't have to fight lions. You can fight chickens. You know, like I mean,
that.
isn't
Fight lions, dude. Fucking iron sharpens iron, man. That's why I tell
no.
everybody.
I'm saying that you don't have to keep banging yourself against the wall trying to fight that monster that's right there, whether it's a lion or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm saying you can go a different direction. You know, maybe the path. Don't climb the mountain. Maybe there's an easier way around the passage.
A smarter way, yeah.
Smarter way.
I get it.
Be smarter. Work smarter, not harder.
Yes.
I got you.
Right? We don't have a problem with hard work. We have a problem with smart work.
Yeah.
Okay? We have a problem with our analogies. It goes to there's an email, right? It goes to communication that I wasn't raised the way other people are raised, whether it's because I was born in 72 or because I was Canadian or whatever. I find more so that there's a misfire in when you were born, in your age, when you grow up. Because, for example, bullying to me, right, Perry, like what I do to you is locker room, right, is out of love, out of whatever that, like, and for a reason, right, say, for example, because this came up, and I bring this up because I was doing a show last week. I forget where I was.
Up in Gaylord.
Was it in Gaylord? Anyways, about the 6th time, somebody was in the crowd, and he was a fan with his wife, and he was excited, but he was interrupting about the 6th time. And
no, wait. I'm sorry to interrupt. Because I know this is important.
Yeah.
Was it the dude or was it the wife?
The dude.
Okay, keep going.
The man, who I talked to earlier,
Go ahead.
was excited. Had kept, as I'm trying to go the show, would be interrupting or add on in excitement, which I acknowledged him a few times, and finally, after looking at the crowd, because this is the one thing where I grew up as far as bullying, where I'm the type of person, obviously yesterday with March 26th, that, you know, the fight or flight, like I'm going to stand up, right? So when I see uncomfortableness in a crowd, I will point out somebody. Now, I'm not saying that my tactics aren't wrong, or not wrong, but aren't forceful, because I'm the type, as you see, is that I'm coming in your face. Right, where, you know, I pretty much said something to the fact that, do you want to come up here and tell the story? Because I can sit down, or whatever. I said, and then, you know, quit being disrespectful and don't get it twisted, because I will come out there, and I am the one that will punch you in the mouth.
Yeah.
Right, and I look at that and a response, because I didn't mean it in a bullying way, as I guess it was taken in a bullying way. I meant it in a enough's enough, you know, like I was raised, you know, like out of respect. And I think it's that disrespect. Now that's just, you know, a simple thing. But again, when I'm having this conversation with a younger person, I'm bullying.
Right. So this guy actually, and we're definitely not going to name any names unless this guy, you know, decides that he wants it to be public. But so this guy messages via the
his wife
time.
did.
That was his wife?
Yeah.
That was his wife messaging.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's becoming clearer. So the wife messages, and she was trying to defend the husband, and her angle was, it was a knowledgeable fan, almost like, hey, my husband's a knowledgeable fan, and he was trying to fill the holes, like he was trying to contribute to your telling your story. That was her angle on Facebook.
Okay, I get it.
Okay. No, I don't get it. 100%.
No, I don't get it either. I get your angle, but the thing that got me in the whole thing is I was bullying. No. I wasn't bullying. I was matter-of-facting you.
And
please shut the fuck up.
Yeah, dude.
Or give everybody their money back, and I'll sit and listen to your story. Yeah. Right? But like I don't understand. That's the whole thing, is like when it's not people are choosing to be there, right? Because if I'm showing up somewhere, right, they have an idea, whether they're going to an autograph show like on Saturday, right? They're coming to get a picture and an autograph. Right? Is that not what an autograph show is?
Right.
Comedy show, you're going to hear me do a spiel, and then after the show, which I did say, bro, we could talk. I'll talk to you for an hour after you and me. Save it for after. I did say that.
And you will, because you do.
No, and I did say that to him. She forgot to put that, which doesn't matter. My whole thing is the bullying thing, because it's bullshit. The fucking fuck off with the sensitivity. Yeah. I can't handle the sensitivity anymore when you're gonna, like, call it the way it is. Like, if you want to say, you know, the way you handled that was a little harsh, I apologize. I didn't mean it to be harsh, but I meant it to be respect my authority. Like, I meant, like,
and you meant it
I'm not gonna be disrespected unless I choose to be disrespected. Mm-hmm. That's just me. And then at the end of the day, right, Tim? At the end of the day, I'm going to stick up for what Darren McCarty believes in for Darren McCarty, no matter how that works out, right? Whether it's he leaves, he stays, he hits somebody, he walks away, he calls the cops. However I react to anything, right, is what I own up to is my action. The communication and the fact that I wish people would. I don't fault anybody for feeling that way. Right?
Okay.
But to have a conversation, don't give me an excuse. Don't tell me why. Tell me, like, oh, because I was late because, no, don't fucking give me excuses. Just give me if you felt bad that I would whatever, then come up and tell me that so I can choose to apologize or not if that's what's important.
Yeah. A comedy situation is not collaborative. It is not the social contract whether it's you go to VFW to see Darren McCarty tell his story with some other comedians, or whether you go to see Dave Chappelle at the Fox Theater, or whether you go to see Richard Pryor at Madison Square Garden. It's not a collaboration. You're there to sit or stand and enjoy the comedy from the person.
Well, that's the common sense. Perspective of it, but that's not always the way it gets, and that's not the point. But the point I'm trying to make is, don't get mad at Darren McCarty for acting like Darren McCarty. When that's my whole point. Number one, is don't get mad when Google me. Like, don't get mad that now that I'm almost 4 years sober, that I'm on a path that I finally feel like I have control of, that I'm finally the person with the people in my life that I can be proud of. And so fucking, you know what? Don't get mad when I still have some of the old tendencies because I'm going to say it. I'm not going to go home and write it. I'm not going to bitch about it. I'd rather know that, just to be able to move on, because at the end of the day, right, at least you've done something proactive in society other than to do what everybody else fucking does, and that's run home and hide behind your fucking keyboard and fucking.
Yeah. And I got yelled at. But so this is just like, let's say you're at a movie theater and you got those people that are talking during the movie. Well, they have ushers there. They will come, tell them to be quiet. If not, they escort them out. You go to a play. You're at the play, and the actors are up there performing. And if somebody's chirping or taking pictures or doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, sitting there and enjoying, appreciating it, they have people, ushers, that will come and take them out. Or people around them will tell them, hey, be quiet or whatever. And now at a comedy show, you don't have that.
Are you saying that I need to come to every comedy show?
You have to, yeah, there you go. You have to have a Tim there. But at a comedy show, what you're performing in these little places, you don't have that. So you're the one, as the performer, that has to stand up and do what you did.
Yeah.
And then these people, I got to admit, I'm a little scarred from last night, with the microphone issue and Paulie.
You're scarred?
A little
Fuck,
sensitive.
you better get in here a little earlier every Wednesday and work on your microphone skills.
You sat there and, I was trying to be nice. I'm helping Paul. I'm like, Paul, come over here so I can put you in the shot.
You did.
And he comes over, and the next thing I know, I look and Tim's pointing like at me. I'm like, what's the hell is he pointing at me? You start yelling at me, put the goddamn microphone. You told me I was a useless fuck. How do you think I felt?
You were a useless fuck.
No, you told me that, but he followed up with it. So my buddy who didn't know I was.
This is why we're getting it too, because I have compliment Tim. It's not like Perry's trying to say, oh, I'm bullying. Listen, I brought it up that you're a useless fuck, and I got confirmation from a childhood friend on his phone that texted him right after and said, "You're a fucking useless fuck."
No, this is a guy I referee hockey with. He's not a childhood friend, but I referee hockey with him. All of a sudden, I look at a text, and he goes, "Hey, how'd you weasel your way onto the McCarty show?" I go, "Dude, I'm a co-host." And he goes, "That's fucking crazy." And he goes, "But they did have it right. You are a useless fuck."
See, that's
and Matt goes, "I like that guy already."
I do.
Yeah, Pat Walsh.
Must be Didn't all you referees grow up together? Because you had to be born out of somewhere.
Oh, jeez.
People don't want to be refs, do
no,
they?
I see a lot of those guys started early.
They're hatched from the alien mother.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't start until I was.
Hey, wait. Something that's blind has to have them because.
Yeah, like a
Yeah, like a robin. Sort of, they're like
bat or what's something that lives underground? A mole or
oh
something?
yeah, Perry the mole.
Oh no! I didn't start ref until I was 35. Shit, I mean that's all these other guys they start so young.
Yeah.
Is that your excuse? Why you don't know the rules?
I don't. No, I never knew all the rules. I'll tell you what. You show me a referee that knows all the rules and is a great skater, I'll show you a bad referee.
Well, I got to tell you, I love that you guys have a thing, but that kind of locker room stuff, it my skin crawls a little bit because I'm on a positive journey. I'm on a forward-moving journey. I'm not judging you guys. I'm just saying I bristle a little bit when you do the hardcore stuff, the piece of shit stuff. I'm just sharing with you honestly.
Absolutely.
But because I just can't do it. I don't have it in me. I'm too big of a pussy or whatever. But like. And I played sports, dude. I grew up in sports.
No, I get it. Like that is right. And I think that's the moving forward it's like the temperament. And then that even for you, Perry, is harsh. I apologize. The piece of shit is harsh. The vulgarity because that must have just I was wrong, Perry. I apologize.
There's five,
Tim, I apologize.
five boys in our family.
Listen, although Perry today, Tim, I want to tell you progress because positive Perry, par out the gate on 18.
Okay.
Hits his drive. It's a little bit right. And he says, "Oh, no, that might be behind the tree." That's not positive. No, it's not behind the tree. It's going to be okay. Right? Right away like that. So you know what? That's the self-awareness. Tim brings that up. Perry, trying to positive, so I will try to be nicer to you. I'll just take it out on Mike.
And actually,
don't worry, I'll just take it out on Mike.
And actually, it was a good shot. Well, yeah, I'll jump on that.
It was a good shot.
You not answering my question. Where did you shoot today?
Where?
Yeah.
Cattails.
On South Lyon.
9 Mile, South Lyon.
9 Mile Curry Road.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I've never played it, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you expect in March, but it was fine. It was beautiful out there, just being outside.
Yep, it was.
It was great. All my golf people out there, men, women, and children, it's time. It's time. Maybe not tomorrow. It's supposed to rain, but time to swing those clubs.
How
you golfed him?
Yeah, golf's me. But I like to get out. What I need to do is I need to get my clubs fitted.
Absolutely.
That's what I need to do. Maybe I'll do that since you guys are so into it. I'd love to golf a little bit with you.
Yeah,
I'm not good.
It's not about. See, here's the thing. It's not about being good.
Yeah.
It's about going out there and having fun. It's being out there with the people you spend time with. It's like trying to hit. I tell everybody, try to hit that one shot you see on TV. Okay. Then hopefully you can hit one of those and then try to hit another one.
Yeah.
Or try to make, it's just one shot that'll bring you back. And the reason, listen, thank God you got a day job, so I don't have to worry about you doing that for a living and supporting your family. Right? So we're going to go out there and have some fun and,
Tim, your biggest thing is if you came out with us, you need the big Bluetooth, and you'd be our musical.
Oh yeah,
guy.
dude,
okay.
you
can't golf without you got. You
need tunes, you need conversation, you need my play-by-play. Well, no, dude, my play-by. Perry and I have this idea too for the. You know how inside the ropes with the golf tournaments and stuff where like Faraday or whatever they have the headsets, Gary McCord.
Yeah.
So they got the PGA one coming to Detroit. Perry says I should get a microphone and we could walk around behind the thing.
Like you're just doing your own run.
Yeah. And he'll do the video, and we'll walk around, and I'll sit there and I'll be going, okay.
Just have your own
I'll have my rangefinder, he's got like 132 to the pin. I think he's got, and we'll just do our own
That's
little
all
thing.
right. I'm gonna be up in the booth behind the green. I'm gonna pretend I'm up there and Mac, what's this putt look like to you?
My buddy, we could bring our own scaffolding. He could bring the painting scaffolding from his business. Like we could have our own.
Oh my God!
But hey, that's something because that's in June.
That's in June, yeah.
So we should find out. Anybody out there who knows who to get a hold of for the Quicken Loans golf tournament? That hey, I'm offering my services inside the ropes.
Are we media? Can we get media passes?
I think that we can work something like that.
It'd be nice to have maybe get one or two of your favorite golfers come in here and.
Yeah, we already.
We have to see
that.
who they've only got. I really haven't had anybody sign up yet for the tournament. As soon as
we're waiting to see
what
we're waiting to see who those pickings are.
Yeah.
But no, I mean whatever it is. I mean obviously. I mean this is like. I mean think about it in the last year. So in the last year, from doing it, picking it up, and seeing if it was, you moving away. The maturation and the way that this has moved along, if you look at it like a band or a relationship, is I'm really proud of you guys, just in the and of everything because of not only the transparency and the communication, but the steps on how we're doing things. Phase 1. Now, phase 2 for everybody out there now is since we got the studio and the place for the production and we move forward, now it's to look and see, hey, who wants to get on board, who wants to, which way we're going to do as we move into having the other room.
I got to beef up the website. I got to give the website. So we've been posting the shows to the website. So there's a website there. I got a little about page explaining who we are and stuff. And, there's enough there to get us going. But I got to take a couple weeks and make the website like we deserve so people can contact us and just a little bit more information. And then that is the foundation that we need to start telling people, hey, this is who we are. This is what we're doing. This is what we've done so far. And we want to help you because our goal is going to be we want to drive customers to you, right? We're not
absolutely
we don't want sponsors just for the sake of sponsors. We want people that say, hey, I believe that Darren McCarty can drive people through my doors. I believe that Darren McCarty can drive people to my website. Those are the people that we're going to be dealing with. And we are going to completely hold up our end of the bargain because we're able to be very agile with the website. I can work with the website very easily, and we can offer special things, special giveaways, special discounts. If there's a sponsor that, hey, we got this product, we're launching it in April, and we want to drive people to this product. Well, guess what? We can have a page, and we can have a coupon on the Grind Time podcast and drive all the Darren McCarty fans, all the Grind Time fans, and we can say, look, if you're interested in this product, here's a discount coupon on grindtime.com. grindtimepodcast.com. And the people who partner with us for advertising, they're going to see the results. So we want it to be win, 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 win for everybody, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to turn our listeners on to products that we believe in and to sponsors that believe in the show. And we're going to say, here you go, guys, get together, walk in the door, click the link, and have a happier life because of it.
I think that is awesome, and just to be able to, does it seem like a year?
Yeah,
it does. In different things.
You got to understand, dude. This studio. Yeah. I was, God bless them. We've been trying to turn this. It feels like a big truck, like on a semi truck. It feels like I've been turning that steering wheel for like 2 years. Because these guys. They run a business here, man. These guys run a business here, and I've been chirping to them about getting the studio and telling them how it's going to look and everything, and finally, God bless them, they reached out to their listeners, and then we started doing it, and the best thing again is that now that we're here and the studio's done, everybody's like, oh, I get it. Every one of them, everybody in the Detroit cast, like everybody who was kind of hesitant and they were nervous, and whoa, what are you doing? How are you going to do this? What are we going to do with this? How's this going to work? And I go, just wait till it's done. And now we're here, and everybody's like, oh, like, especially Easus. Easus is like, I totally get it.
Yeah. Well, it's just how much he's like just to let me know
Yeah.
operating in this room the way we're set up now
Yeah.
compared to last week or operating in that room. So listeners at home, like, what would you compare it to? Playing Atari, then playing the new PlayStation 4, or what?
You know what it is? You know, it's exactly like any example where you say it's not the player, not the guitar, it's the player. It's not the stick, it's the player.
Yeah.
It's that thing.
Okay.
In other words, we were all pro enough that we can make that room sound awesome. We're all pros. Mike Walters is a 20-year radio veteran. He can run a show with a frickin' broken microphone.
Right.
And it's going to be okay, right? The Rolling Stones could record with a Jambox cassette player, and
Right.
it would sound like the Rolling Stones. So that's the message of that room. It's not like it was anything bad, but it wasn't this.
Well,
You
then
know?
I think the bottom line is what people with here at Grind Time is you're going to be able to listen to is that we're going to be able to optimize not only the guests, the experience, the interaction. You know, we're gonna soon fire up the phone lines, do some interaction, do some questioning. I know that people who are looking forward to April, I can give you sort of a sneak idea. I'm gonna have about 4 of the guys, Kevin Zioli, Justin Sullivan, and a few others come in from my comedy tour, sit around and talk
I think
chops.
people will
about
really
that.
love that. I think listeners,
It's gonna be
like
very interesting.
people who are just Grind Time fans, like that are following us and listening on iTunes and stuff, who maybe aren't in Michigan or haven't got a chance to go to a show. I think people are going to really like that.
Yeah.
because we've talked about the comedy stuff, and if you bring those guys in, and then we can kind of explain it, and I think that'll be cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, just another avenue. And then I'm looking, I've already talked to Sean Belegian because I want to do, he's a big hockey guy. He's one of the, he knows junior hockey as good as anybody else, but Hockey Mind, because I'm going to do, haven't figured out when, probably the Wednesday before the playoffs start.
Couple weeks,
But
yeah.
I want to do I want to do some picks. I want to do some Grind Time hockey pool for the playoffs and stuff like that. So we'll, even though the Wings aren't involved, we'll still get a little bit of hockey off. You know what? How about this? What time is it? 9:49. Dude, you know opening day is tomorrow, right? Or in a week. Or in a week.
Opening day here,
Opening day here is in
Yeah,
a week.
America,
Opening
yeah.
day
The league opens.
done in Toronto.
Toronto. Yep.
Toronto, yeah. So they stand in their opening day here in a week. I mean, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I want that. So I guess we won't be golfing that day because it's going to be like 30. No, I
yeah,
don't
you know that. Yeah, like it was last year. Remember?
Dude,
it
I
got
read.
canceled?
Quick, opening day stories. I got one. Okay, my first year, I had my Harley, and it was so 93, 94, and it was 35 degrees out. Me and Proby and Sheldon Kennedy and Vinnie Johnson and from the Pistons and a bunch of other ones drove down to Tiger Stadium, old Tiger Stadium, and parked in the front lot, you know, where you walked up the ramp and stuff.
Right.
And all our chat. It was so cold. That's all I remember. It was so cold. That and I remember Rob Fick. Well, that was the last game in Tiger Stadium, but
Yeah.
so old Tiger Stadium just cold on the Harley. Do you have any
Yeah.
any opening days? Did you ever make it out of Nemo's or?
Oh, I always made it to the games. Well, my one buddy got a suite for about 5 years in a row at Comerica, so that was quite all right. You
Oh,
just-
nice! Look at you, Perry.
Yeah. You know, Matt West came through with that, and then my favorite one was probably going with my grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took my grandfather took me to Tiger Stadium. We went down to the opener, and that was a good time.
How about you, Tim? Did you any Tiger Stadium openers?
You know, I wasn't big enough of I have really good memories of going down with my dad and my uncles, but like I didn't go down to the home opener. I wasn't that
Right.
I wasn't in that frequency. But we played the home opener a lot for WRIF.
Right.
And I can tell you one story of touring Texas, and then we did a show in Dallas, and we had to get off the stage, get in the van, and drive to get to the Fox Theater. For opening day, to do the Riff event, and I mean it was brutal, and I had done everything that I wasn't supposed to do on that tour, you know, and
That makes it for a great drive, doesn't it?
That I had deteriorated my drug use and alcohol abuse had deteriorated on that tour to where I was speaking as Ron Burgundy. That's all I was talking. I was only talking as Ron Burgundy. That's how fucked up I was, dude.
Wow.
And then they're like, go to sleep, dude. And thank the Lord I woke up in Detroit. And then we played the home opener on the Fox, right? Or the Fillmore. Where they used to do those?
Fillmore.
Fillmore, yeah.
Fillmore,
Yeah. No, yeah.
That's my home opener memory.
There you go.
Wow.
Well, thank you, Ron.
We got a handful of people. Well, got quite a few people watching on Facebook, and thank you, every one of you, and keep spreading the word. This is a great thing, and it's all with your support. We've got oh my God, Steve Shannon. You know Mr. Shannon, Mr. John Blum's friend. So Steve said he talked to John Blum, former Red Wing alumni guy.
Wait, you got to focus. So last night, if whoever watched Grind Time last night with Dave Coulier, so Dave Coulier and John Blum went to high school together. And
Yeah.
Blummer's part of the alumni and stuff. And Blummer called Perry on the golf course today. He says, "Hey, what are you, the guy on your podcast you're talking about me last night down in Florida?" Because Blummer's in Florida. Because Cooler doing the Blummer last night. Oh, hilarious.
Yeah, impersonation.
That's
Yeah.
when he was talking about that, and John's like, "Yeah, I'm getting calls down here. Somebody's impersonating me on your guys' podcast." And he's laughing his ass off.
You're
Yeah,
gonna send out a cease and desist.
Yeah. So
Send that
It's
cease
the
and
funny
desist to
part
Coulier.
when Dave was doing that or talking about it. They just played together. I played with them like the week before when
Yeah.
they were D partners, and it's the same conversation.
Yes.
Okay, Dave, just go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah.
How about Dave Coulier last night, dude, on the show? How about Dave Coulier? What a fucking force of comedy and wit. You know, he was so awesome last night.
Humanity.
And
Dude,
a great
Shorty.
human.
Dude,
Shorty,
dude, you probably not, dude. Walters did a poops on it too. It's good.
Oh, did he do the video?
Yeah, I did. I
Of
got it. He
course,
sent it to me.
Yeah. Brett Smalls, he's watching and listening in on us. He's from Washington, D.C.
That's
All right.
huge.
Yeah, and best part is he's a fellow referee, and so he's got my back. Support for Perry. I'm like, hell yeah, Brett.
That's
All
awesome.
right, Brett. I guess
Where are the Caps at? Are they already?
they're
cinched?
in the playoffs.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
They just visited the president actually, and
yeah, they did. Yeah,
he said they're going to repeat
Okay. What'd they visit the president for?
because they won the
they
cup
won the cup last year.
So they're just visiting him now when the playoffs are about to start?
Well, I mean,
is that
I don't know.
protocol?
There's some shit going on.
Gotta
in
wait
the
till the
country.
season.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't watch TV, but I mean, shit's busy.
Actually, there's shit going on, man. I guess you're right. There is shit going on.
Fading a probe. What do you want? That's good. So you got, and you guys wonder why I bust Perry's chops. You're right. He had to get in that little referee. Any hockey players out there saying hi to all the rest of the hockey guys, or any bass players or guitar players saying hey to the music guy, or maybe like a tech guy out there?
Gene Anders.
Oh yeah. Oh, so
Grindr
Gene, but Gene
connection.
said hi to me. Who's saying hi to Tim?
No, nobody's sure.
Nobody's giving Tim love.
We're all
Tim's mom just said hi.
Ah,
Did
nice.
she?
Right on.
Well, she will now.
She did. You know, that's right. I mean, she is our stats lady.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
She was chirping about the viewership compared to another podcast, but it's
Oh
all
well,
She's my mom.
competition all over the place.
Yeah.
All over the place.
good. That's what makes America great is the competition.
That's it. Thanks again to the fellows at Stalls. As I'm looking around the room here, these things look delicious.
Beautiful banners, man.
Aren't they?
Beautiful banners, yeah. It's and they look so good on camera. It's just amazing. We got our own, you know, and you selected them for a reason, and we showed everybody tonight the reason for each of them, and
I mean, look,
it's
yeah.
awesome.
The only thing is, I got that stuffed reindeer with Homer's jersey coming because I'm gonna hang it from the ceiling.
Okay,
the Canadian Swede,
the Canadian Swede. Who's that?
Thomas Holmstrom.
Holmstrom. Okay, is he Canadian and Swedish? Is that the deal?
No, but
you adopted him?
I honoraried him because he's he's born up near Santa Claus, right? Like Pitu's, like one of those places near the North Pole that has darkness and daylight and all that stuff. But,
Only consonants in the name. There's no vowels in
Oh.
it. Yeah.
yeah, Laplander.
Yeah,
He's a beauty. No, We half adopted him.
Hey, Mac, you had you want to talk or just real quick? You had two comedy shows last weekend. One in Wyandotte, the benefit for Blessings in a Backpack.
Oh, that's
and,
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that one, and then follow that up. You had the one at the Strand Theater.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. How'd Strand go?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me talk about that. Well, the Blessings in a Backpack, obviously, anytime we get to spend Wyandotte, there's special people down there. So everybody that made that had a great turnout. Tanya Murray was opener. She's very funny. It was, obviously great to go down there. Then Saturday, I got to host Kevin Zioli, who's part of my slapstick, got to open up for Paul Zerdin, who's the ventriloquist that won America's Got Talent.
Oh, sweet.
Fuck, is he funny.
Yeah?
Oh, dude, he's British. Nicest guy. Spent about 20 minutes before him and his manager, we were talking before and talking about rugby for about 15 minutes. And, what did he say? He goes, he said, "Oh, I just saw some of your fights. I'm glad we're friends." But I would implore anybody to go see his show. Not only ventriloquists are great, but he's funny. I've seen Jeff Dunham and Terry Fader and some of the best, but he's right up there, and you can tell why he won America's Got Talent.
What's his name?
Paul Zerdin, Zerdin.
Did he have the dummy with him the whole time? Or
He had a bunch of different ones.
Okay, because
he had him in a suitcase. Like he had a baby that he'd have a conversation with the baby in the suitcase, and then it'd come out, and then the way that he interacted. What I picked up is the way he interacted with the crowd. Yeah, you got to watch.
So, because I know Jeff Dunham does stand-up before.
I love being able to do it because everything in everyday life now talks. All over the world, you have the talking elevator. I like to go into an elevator that doesn't talk.
He did this one.
Pretend it does. And the busier the elevator, the better. In I go. Doors closing. That was me. Going up. Get out, fatty. You're too heavy.
Oh, he's ventriloquist.
Yeah.
Like he's the elevator.
His mouth's not moving, and you got to look him up. Zerdin.
Being a ventriloquist, you can also have a lot of fun if you get yourself a puppet. Zerdin! Speak of the devil, would you like to meet my friend?
Yeah. Yes, we want to meet your friend.
My friend, Sam.
So Sam, so he's going to grab Sam. He's looking into the bag. There he picks out Sam.
Hello! Hi. I said hello! Well, this is fantastic. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Where are you? Well, we're on America's Got Talent. Yes, America. Wait a minute. What? We won America's Got Talent. That's right, and we're back. We're doing it again? Yes. What the hell went wrong? No. This is the champions. The champions, yes. Oh, you better have something special, Zerdin. I think I have. You know how he always says, you've got to up your game. Yes, that's right. So what are you going to do? Well, I think I've got something very special. Yes? Yes, I've got a little ditty.
He's looking at his groin.
Yeah.
It's not what you think. Just watch. What, you ditty? No.
All right, so this is the guy that you open up for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to put too much of the content up there.
Yeah.
We don't want to get flagged.
No, that's good. Yeah. No, he's funny. Check him out. Pick his stuff up. But it's such a great to watch a guy, and he's really good as far as to throw his voice, but the conversations that he has between him and his puppets in real time, fast, and now he speeds up, slows down, and. What I really liked is that how he opened his show and his crowd interaction.
Yeah.
Like he opened it up with a cheer right, cheer left, like this, and he pretty much nailed it down to one guy, right? He said, "It's you, sir. You're the one that sucks in here, James." And he picked on him the whole show. Like, you know what I mean? Like James, the wanker, like what the puppets were picking on the guys. So the way that he incorporated had everybody going good. So
that's awesome.
Just a different, that's the great thing about comedy is, different ways to entertain yourself, but so much, different talents.
Yeah. So how did you do in that environment? Strand, that's a little bit different than the shows.
Yeah, I when you host it, so I was just introduced.
So
and I did a couple 5 minutes.
Okay.
I did my I did my shtick on, that I did comedy and I had to teach comedians hockey.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did that one. It went over good. So.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a couple and those are the things too. Is that now I'm looking and talk to Kevin and Ron and the different guys that I worked with. Is just expanding, expanding the repertoire. I got enough material.
Yeah.
It's just it's all. It's like anything else.
Do you
practice.
do you have one of those guys yet that you like are close and trust enough to start maybe bouncing the set?
Yeah, there's
off
a few.
of?
There's a couple that have helped me. Ron Sweet, who's I call him Sweet Ron Sweet. He was great at the beginning. Now Zioli's helping me a lot. So
cool.
And it's just more or less finding your comfort zone, because the best thing is the guys that I see that really understand what you're trying to do. So not trying to make me into a knock-knock joke. I'm a storyteller.
Yes.
How can I be a better storyteller? How can I, let's not get it twisted. I mean, I know that sometimes I got elongated. It's about cutting it down. It's about being simple, but it's all practice. It's like in podcasts and asking questions. It's something that, you got to work on.
Yeah. Can we put a tag on that conversation about the bully heckler thing?
Yeah.
I just want to say that, so you're saying it was the wife that messaged
I thought it was the email or the that's how I interpreted it. Now, trust me, listen, this is how much I pay attention.
Yeah.
I only read it once.
Okay.
So I read it and interpreted it for what it is, because it's not about the individual. It's about the conversation and the fact of the whole. Don't be surprised if Darren McCarty acts like Darren McCarty.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say that those people who wrote in, they were very calm when they wrote in. They said what they had to say. They left a great review for the podcast on Facebook, so they weren't spiteful or anything.
No, it was, and that's the whole. I don't want it to be. That's why I'm not bringing up who it is. I want it to know that I care enough.
Yes,
to bring it up, and I care about the fact that this person, because I apologize for the manner of which I did it.
Yes.
In the tact. Not the fact that I did it for being disrespectful and interrupting the show.
Yeah.
If I made you feel bullied, that was not my intent. My intent was to let you know, like the parrot, this is my show, and it's going to go as I want.
Yeah, well, I love that you said, hey, I'll talk to you for an hour after.
Well, I did say, bro, save it now, because I will do that.
That's
and anybody
awesome.
who knows been to the shows, I will stay an hour, 2 hours, and I will. You want to get in the front, if you got time to spare, the longer you stay, I'll stay till the end. And so the whole purpose, Tim, and to bring this up, what isn't you did this, you did that. It's I see this as, and I'm thank you for bringing this to my attention, because this is, see, what I've learned is that I'm like anybody else. I'll immediately react, right? And I have to allow myself to immediately react. So after I'm done reacting, whether it's diva, spoiled brat, prick, bullet, whatever, that I react to myself, then I break it down and go, okay, what's the big picture? How can I help? Yeah. Right? Because they help me, because now I have to know, like you said, you know what? I get where you're coming from. Sometimes it's a little bit strong, or sometimes it can be, so maybe next time I'll make it. I ran in this before because the bottom line, I don't want him to feel that way, and I don't want her to feel that way.
Yeah.
These are my people, and I want them, and I'm grateful for them to reach out and the way they did, because that's how I took it. I took it enough to put it in the locker room so that I could address it, and I'm grateful, because these are the tough moments that at grind time with Darren McCarty that we're gonna
back away from.
We're not backing away from it, and I'm not afraid to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to apologize, because I'll apologize for my delivery. It's like the one time for my 40th birthday, they got me a gallon of Jack Daniels. Right now, Jack's intentions were pure, but his delivery really sucked. that night, right?
Yeah,
Which is
yes,
so.
yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
my
yeah.
delivery sucks. My intentions aren't, and that's why it's nice to have this platform
Yeah.
to be able to clear. And that's the greatest part about. And I know as we build this following is that you just got to get my truth, just like I signed my book.
Yeah.
You know, my last fight, true story of a hockey rock star. It's just fucking. It's just me being me, and I don't know any other way to be.
I don't. There's definitely no reason for you to apologize, especially from what I've heard and everything. And the post was done by the husband.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yes, it was done by the
Okay,
husband.
see, I misinterpreted.
Yeah, and he said it was his fiance works in the medical field, which I have no idea, and it's her boss's husband.
Yeah,
Owns the
but
bar.
that's too much information, Perry. When you're reading a text, you don't need to break
But
down to
basically,
somebody.
he said
whatever.
bullying is too rampant, and he looks forward to being a voice for future audience members and good-hearted fans.
Yeah. So,
But that's the only reason I take exception, because my definition of bullying is I call it standing up.
Mac, I'll do one even better for you. Check this out. I got news for you, person. And then my tag was, we will take anything. If something happens out at one of Darren's shows, if one of Darren's signings, if you see something out there, bring it to the grind time. This is our circle of truth and trust. And thank you for writing in. We aren't going to back down from anything. That's why Darren wanted this platform. That's why we did this. That's why we started the show. So if something happens out there, by all means, bring it to us, because we'll talk about it. Right? Darren's proven
address
that.
the issue.
And what I'm going to say, I'm going to do you one better. That's bullying. They just bullied us.
They tried to.
They tried to bully us by throwing the bully term out there.
Right.
There ain't no bully in this room, because I don't work with bullies. I've trained to identify bullies. I despise bullies, because all bullies are cowards. There's no coward in this room. So your point was well taken. I'm glad that you wrote in. I'm glad that you interacted with them. I'm glad that you apologized and said, hey, maybe I can do better. And that's all we can do, is say, hey, we can do better. But I'm going to tell you something. There's no bully in this room.
No, absolutely.
And-
That's the point to be making is, and that's the thing is, like, I don't know if you know this though, is that when it's off and it's not just me, and that's where the temperament of a grind time, because even though it says with Darren McCarty, there's a grind and there's a time with you two, it's because it's exactly that, because we're all for the goal of the team. We were talking about it earlier. There's people in life that are individuals, and you can't, and then there's people that are team.
Right.
Well, fortunately, we're the team, and it's okay.
And to make it a little bit lighter, not to be so serious, there's just some fucking people that don't get the comedy thing. Like, there's people that have to chirp. They don't get the idea of being quiet. God bless you. Sorry. There's just some people that don't get that relationship.
Well,
I have a seat. I have a ticket. Drink my drink. Hug my wife, and go have dinner and go get laid. Like it. Some people just don't have that. They have to talk. Like they don't understand the social contract of a show. And God bless them. So we don't have to make it too heavy. There's just some people that don't get it.
And
there's loudmouths.
And that's what I was saying. People in the movie theater, people in plays and stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's the way.
It's just life.
And
It's life, and the best thing you said, Tim, is that we'll try to be better. John 13:34. Let's try to be nicer. And I will.
Trying every
I
day.
guess if grind time with Darren McCarty, then Darren McCarty should lead the charge of being nicer.
Well, people, I've had some friends comment and people comment like, God, Darren's really hard on you. He picks on you and all this and that. And then I tell him, I said, you don't understand. Darren and I have a relationship that we've been friends for quite a while now. I look at him as an extension of my family and my brothers. I've got 4 brothers. I've got a couple other great friends. And what it is that, we pick on each other.
Yeah.
We don't bully each other. We tease each other. We kid each other. And you know what we do? We laugh about it. We laugh our asses off. And because the bottom line is we have respect for each other. I know Mac's respect for me. And I know that he has my back.
Yeah. Here's the thing at the end of the day, Tim, is that I could in the same breath be trying to chirp Perry, but then he does something really good, and in the same breath I will commend him, right? Like, Perry, you did an awesome job. You know what I mean? So like he knows that he could turn the tide when because I'll call it like I see it. It is the truth. And then, whatever else, because at the end of the day, it's like everybody else. You care for each other. You respect each other. It is like extended family.
Yeah.
So
next time you have the chance to go to one of number 25's slapstick comedy tour shows, just get out there, enjoy it, man. I mean, I've seen what you do, dude. You stay and you talk to everybody. Everybody gets a Darren story. Everybody gets a Darren autograph. Just when we were at the screening for the Russian 5 out in Port Huron, those people in Port Huron were so happy that how many people thanked us for coming? Thank you for coming to our little town, you know?
Yeah.
We're like, well, the dude that made the movie's from here, so that's why we're here.
No,
you know?
but I mean,
you're not a bully.
No. No.
Hey, Tim. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Hey, and speaking of that, I got my thank you to Josh and Jenny and all the Steve and
That's
Dan
the best
and all the
one.
Russian
That's
5
the best
people.
one. Although the one Jenny was wearing yesterday was pretty cool too. The black one, it had all their names in white. That was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
What were you
I
saying,
like
Barry?
this one.
Linda Allen said hi.
Oh, hi, Linda.
Yeah.
Linda is a dedicated Detroit Cast listener, and she's also an old friend. I used to teach her son guitar. He was one of my
wow.
guitar students,
All
yeah.
right.
And they're a great family.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks
great family,
for
great people.
listening.
And she was the nurse for my youngest nephew, Noah, who was born on St. Patrick's Day. She was the nurse in the maternity ward when my sister-in-law had my nephew. So
It's a small
she's a
world,
great
huh?
person.
Just
She's
good.
salt of
Thank
the
you.
earth.
Yep.
That's awesome. What do you guys? What do you guys got this weekend? Anything? Because I'm on a high. I got autographs. I got it too. I just look. I got it two. These 2 weekends. No comedy. First time, probably all year.
I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna be honest. I'm coming down from the renovation project, you know, and I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling like the weight is off me a little bit. So I'm actually gonna take the weekend and kind of enjoy that I don't have to, the studio's done. You know, we got to talk about next steps and we got work to do. But
Yeah, but dude, this is the one thing that I implore is enjoy it.
I'm gonna enjoy
it
it.
because you've earned it, and I think that's we spend, and this is for everybody out there. You know, sometimes we spend so much in going for the prize that we forget the journey.
Yeah.
So the greatest thing, Tim, is the fact that how you broke it down and how we phase it off.
Yeah.
So you know what? After phase 1, right, you get to take a little hiatus.
That's right.
And then phase 2, because the most important thing, what I learned is that when I'm refreshed or when I can, the best thing, so I've been running Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, some Tuesdays since the beginning of the year, right?
With your comedy stuff.
But yeah, with the comedy and just different things.
Yeah.
But I've really learned that my Sundays and then into my Mondays is that's my time for myself or to, do other things and recharge. Where if I'm going to pick if you're going to catch me sleeping out of one of those, it's one of those days that I'm going to have to enjoy. And I think that's so important. And I implore people out there, when you can, to pick those spots and enjoy them, because it could be that 20-minute sit outside on the park bench and just smell the good air. It's just, you can do that, and you could speak from it today, Perry, being outside for the first time like I was. It's just, it was awesome.
It was the fresh air. I mean, it was, it springs here. And actually, April starts next week.
Really,
and
Perry?
You've had a
April 1st.
And the reason I'm bringing this up is a handful of people are wishing you a happy early birthday. Yes, they are.
They are?
So they already know. They
cool.
know. Yeah, that. I don't know what day it is.
Monday.
I don't care. But I mean,
Monday, April 1st.
His birthday. I'll tell you what I'm really looking forward to this weekend, though, since you're asking. I am really looking forward to, I have some clients that are just starting looking, some buyers that are actually very good friends of mine, and they've got a baby on the way, and they have reached out to me and said, hey, it's time, we got to sell where we're at and move. And Friday, we're actually going to start looking with them. So I'm really excited to do some real estate this weekend. That's
Good.
really cool. Yeah.
Good. See that? You got to stick some of that in there in the
I'll
middle.
tell you what, and if there's anybody listening, anybody in the sound of my voice, that is, if you're even remotely thinking about selling in Livonia, please call me. Please call me. There's no inventory in Livonia. If you have a house in Livonia that you want to sell, you will get the maximum price right now, and it'll be sold in a week. So if there's anybody that's, honestly, I'm not into pressuring people, but just to let you know, if you're listening and you're thinking about selling in Livonia, give me a call.
Here's the whole facilitation, Tim, is that it is your responsibility to the listeners to throw that out there, because I've known,
for real.
Listen, there could be that person out there that is thinking and why it came to them, or it came across us, or their friend heard. There's too much there's too much coincidence to not believe in coincidence. So good luck. So, I mean, I wish I had property in Livonia. I mean, I wish I had property anywhere, but
yeah, well, we'll get them taken care of. But it's exciting they're started. It's just, it's a weird time to transition, and there's going to be more inventory. It's
now, is this a good time for the market? Bad time?
It's a great time. It's a great time to sell. It's a great time to sell. It's a challenging time to buy, but it's not like the prices are through the roof. Everything's kind of stayed in check. The prices are up, the values are up, but that's good for the whole country.
Right.
But it's not like it's a great time to sell, and it's a really good time to buy. With one little asterisk, you're going to have to. It's a cage match trying to buy. I mean, it's literally like a UFC fight. When the good house pops up, there's 5 people out there looking. They all lost out on the last one. They want to buy it, so you got to really come with a strong offer. You got to have a good realtor that writes good offers and positions you the best. So no, it's a good time. Don't believe the hype, man. And people are talking about like another recession coming. Dude, we're years away from another recession. Everything's fine, but the only thing that we're looking for is some inventory, man. We're just looking for people in the right areas to start selling, and it'll happen. What it takes in our area, we live in like a leapfrog market. So the people in Northville, let's say, right, they have to retire, right? Maybe move to Arizona or Boca Raton, right? So that the people who now just got a raise that live in Livonia and have
move to Northville, so that the people in
so the people then
Novi
live in Westland,
whatever,
So or people in the apartment can get their first time home in Redford, and the Redford people buy the Livonia home. So we have like a leapfrog kind of a market, and it's very dependent on all those positions, everybody leapfrogging, and that's what's slowly happening. Is everybody's calming down after the elections, and everybody's like, okay, we're still a country, life's good, and those people are starting to take those job opportunities, and people are starting to think about going to different school districts, and it's happening. It's just slow. It was just slow this time.
But like you said, if anybody get a hold of Tim at Franklin Addison, if you have any questions, especially if you want to sell.
I'm not a pressure guy, man. I'm here. The grind time is a place for answers and that
facilitation, dude. If we can't this is one of the best things that I've heard is if I can't help you do it, we'll find the best possible person for you.
Absolutely.
There you
go. Let's see what. Before I forget, if you're in Grand Traverse, check out Grand Traverse. Grand Traverse. Traverse City Undercoating. Yes, to undercoating and mechanic, not just for your great trucks and cars, for your undercoating, but all your mechanic needs. Go see Robin, Chris, and Mark up at Traverse City Undercoating.
And speaking in terms of facilitating and knowledge and our purpose here in the grind time, we should probably share the information that I got from Jamie about the emergency vote.
Absolutely.
Share that? Okay, so
absolutely.
Okay.
So I'll let you take over. You preface what we're talking about.
Yeah. So the emergency extension that was voted in January for the dispensaries right now. Now remember,
we're talking about the medical marijuana.
Medical marijuana. So yes, recreational cannabis was legislated legal. That happened. Yes, we all voted on that. But right now, the government has a year to propagate and put those plans together, and they have some good people on that board. As a matter of fact, our brother Rick Thompson was chosen to be on that board, so he's going to have a hand in the language.
Rick, and if you recall, probably a few months ago, Rick and Jamie Lowell were in studio. You can archive, check out what they had to say.
Yeah, so in January, all the dispensaries that didn't have their final license. So all last year, the final licensing, even though we did this in 2012, the final licensing for medical dispensaries
so long.
It was so long.
Everything was so backed up.
They just started getting issued last year. So as of the emergency vote in January to extend the temporary licenses, there are only 43 permanent licenses issued in the state of Michigan. And Laura has a map of the permanent licenses. So in January, only 43 establishments had their permanent license. That doesn't leave a lot of availability for people around the state. So they voted for an emergency extension. Governor Whitmer approved it, and they extended to March 31st. Well, guess what? Not that many permanent licenses have been finished and completed and issued since January. I'll read from Jamie Lowell, who is a member of MI Legalize, and he's been just an absolute warrior in the fight for, to end prohibition. And I don't think he'll mind me reading this on the air at all. This is something he read because people were asking me what's going to happen March 31st. Quote from Jamie Lowell, "I believe that temporary operators must cease by March 31st until or unless a license can be achieved." He's referring to the permanent license. Now, we know that not a lot of people, if they don't have their permanent license right now, it's
But does that cover the ones that are in process? So would they still be able to, because there's a whole bunch that have their...
No, process means nothing. Process means nothing. This has been the process. The emergency extensions.
I know, but my question is about what are people that have already applied, that have had their application in for a year or whatever?
Their doors closed the 31st of March, and there's no extension. So
how many are out? So
I haven't looked up, but like I said, in January.
Well, if it's 43, then what can it be now?
The most I could hope what it would be was 60.
So
that would be a dream.
That puts us back to where we were.
Yes, correct. And Jamie said caregivers will still be able to bring product to market by selling limited amounts to cultivators and processors. So basically, we're going to be, as of March 31st, we're going to be in a gray market. It's not a black, there's always going to be a black market, but those who legally seek care and have their card, you will be able to get it from your caregiver. You just won't be able to walk into a dispensary.
But see, here's the
I know.
thing where, because the caregiver program, which is different than the...
Well, the caregiver program is under the legislation that we voted in 2012. That's what we're operating under. Outside of an emergency extension of the retail,
right?
But we're operating under 2012 legislation.
But the questions are: is that so? So if this didn't come into play, that means that the caregiver program would have been. You can't abolish the caregiver program, though.
No, you can't. It's not.
No, I understand that, but it's saying that the caregivers, like, I'm already getting my product from my caregiver, right?
Yeah,
I won't be able, right. That's
going to continue. That's going to be your only source.
Right. I can't go to a dispensary.
Correct. It's done unless they have their permanent issued license.
Right. So the 43 or the 60 or whatever
it is. Yeah, I haven't looked it up. Maybe I'll post it. I will. I don't know. I'll post it.
So that's some bullshit.
You know. Like I said,
well, I mean, it's some bullshit because, like you said, the first thing I think of is, like you said, how many patients in the state? That's like, what, 400,000 out of 9 million or what? Anyway, it's 43. So as long,
it's bad, and they're
that's what I'm saying is, like, you can't, like.
I know.
If all these, I would love to see, Tim. I'm going to give you some grind time homework, because maybe we can find that map. Throw it up on there.
I can. I mean, if you can just.
I mean up to date. I meant.
Yeah. But yeah, it is unfortunate, and again, we're blessed that we can go right to the people that are involved with legislation. We're lucky that we have an open line of communication with Jamie Lowell and Rick Thompson, and we're lucky that we have a new administration in Lansing that has been communicative. No,
absolutely.
They're not waving magic wands. They're not waving magic wands, but they have been communicative, and they're responding to things on social media. But they're saying, I don't know. I guess I gotta kind of respect it. She's like, where Whitmer's coming from is like, enough is enough. Like, how can if we keep signing extensions, how can we possibly motivate this system to provide the final licensing? If we keep
how do you put a kick in the ass of the people for the license?
They dismantled the board.
What?
They dismantled the board.
So
now it's there. It should be, the idea is that it should start to be a lot similar to the pistol license, where when I was growing up, like when my dad had a pistol license, you had to go before a board. You had to prove. You had to say, hey, I carry cash around. I deliver chips and bread. And I'm working at all hours of the day and night, and I have money on me. I need a pistol for protection. Okay, and the board reviews it. There was a board for pistols. The same thing was in place for the final medical licenses. There was a board that had to review everything. They abolished the board. So the hope is that it becomes more binary. The human element is out of it. Do you have all these boxes filled in? Do the boxes check out? Are there no felons in your license? You don't have any felon partners? Like, the idea is that by disassembling the board and taking the subjectivity out of it, that it becomes black and white. That's the hope. So all we can do is hope that Whitmer has a vision to get this going down the road. And the first thing I thought of when they said they disassembled the board is I thought of the pistol thing. And I can tell you, once they got rid of that pistol board, you got your pistol quickly. If you were not a felon, if you didn't have any of the things that keep you from getting a gun, you got your gun. We became a shall-issue state, is what happened. And boy, it would be nice if we became a shall-issue state for our medical and our medical marijuana.
And that turns into more of the micro bit, like the smaller.
Well, the micro dosing stuff is what Rick Thompson and all those people will be working on. That language has to be implemented into the final legislation or the final laws and rules, right? So we voted as citizens. We said we want recreational marijuana for people over the age of 21. We want marijuana, cannabis legislated like alcohol. We all said it.
Right.
60% is a mandate, right? So now the government gave itself a year to propagate the laws, to author the laws that facilitate that.
And then they give themselves another year to implement it, or so to be like when is it? Like probably
2021. The end of 2020. But see, I don't know. You know, is the licensing, is the final licensing for the rec going to be like getting your teeth pulled out? It is.
Yeah. Stay tuned to Grind Time with Darren McCarty, and you will get updates.
I think by 2021 there will be at your favorite dispensary, there will be another register that you'll walk up to if you have if you don't have a medical license. There'll be a register that you walk up to if you have a medical license, and it'll have different taxes programmed in. And then there'll be another register for over the age of 21 recreational.
Yeah, that's the way it is in Colorado.
That's how it is in Vegas. Yeah, Vegas is awesome because the medical line is way shorter.
Oh yeah, and your card from Michigan carries over.
Yeah, and you pay less taxes with your medical card.
Yep.
So, yeah.
No, I mean that's one of the things that and like you said, I think the bottom line is with. You said it, hopefully there's conversation and you understand the bottom line in the cannabis as a medical patient or whatever. I don't like the word no, but I'm not afraid to hear the word no if I'm treated with respect. And that's how I feel like the Attorney General and the governor, like right now with this administration, I'm a lot more comfortable that the right thing will be done than in the past. Do you, Tim?
Yes, I'm more confident.
I'm more confident now that I'll be all right with whatever happens.
Okay, so here everybody can see. I'll put this up on the screen so that people can see it. I mean,
but I mean, like
this map should be way more full. Like,
well, if you see how far away from everything, especially if you go north. Like, okay, we're fine down here, but go up like Grand Rapids, north to Grand. Like, if you keep going north, right?
Well, Grand Rapids is.
No, I know they're stupid, but like north, like there's nothing.
There's nothing.
And
all these people
absolutely,
are suffering with
dude.
arthritis,
They
suffering
suffer
with cancer. All these people in remote areas are the ones that are suffering the most. But God willing, they have some good caregivers, and they have something to get them through until the final licensing is worked out. But yeah, I mean, you just look at this and you go, this is a state where a mandate was presented to the government. 60% of the people said we want recreational cannabis, and we're operating under 7-year-old legislation. 2012, we said we want medical marijuana, right? And now we're sitting here in 2019, and people who spent tens of thousands of dollars and countless hours assembling their complicated applications, they don't have them. And I know it's hard. It's easy to beat up the government. It's easy to beat it's easy to criticize cops. It's easy to criticize legislators. It's easy to criticize the government, right? And that was my final thing. I thank Jamie for the update because people were asking me I had texts coming in, what, 31st, everything's closing. And Jamie answered me, and he said, "Yeah, there's no more extension."
No, and like Tim, I think you nailed it. That's exactly the thing that we want to do at Grind Time with Darren McCarty. If there's these questions that need to be answered, people have it. Like you said, we have the opportunity with these resources, so we want to tell the people this is what being reported, or this is what our best person tells us. So
here's the bottom line: these things take time. That's the bottom line. It's just the bottom line. We voted it, and we have it, but to get to the final medical licenses, which has taken way too long, and to get to where there's recreational dispensaries where somebody who's an adult who wants to seek out cannabis, it's going to take a minute, man. It's going to be the end of it's going to be 2021 before those doors are open. I'm sorry. But the caregiver system's in place, and people who need it, will be able to seek it out. It just won't be as convenient as we voted it to be. What do you say, Mac?
No, I mean that's like I said. I mean, hopefully, I look at this right now, updated to 325. So that's all you can help. There's conversations. At least they're treating with respect. They're not pushing it away. Why we're here. Yeah.
Anybody piping in about this on Facebook, Perry? Before we close out the show, has anybody piped in about cannabis or any questions or anything? It's okay if not. Just figured we check before we close down.
Dan Najvel said he's got here. You can still go to GC3.
Yeah, I belong there.
Okay, and then Devin Blake just popped in. Said federal law should change before then.
Yeah, well, we hope so.
Never know.
But you never, like you said, it all takes time, and this is where we're at, and we'll keep you up to date on where we're at because with what our guys know. So,
yep.
I mean, other than that, you got some roughing to do. You got some enjoying of the weekend. I'm going to sign a few autographs. I'll be down at the Wings game on Friday night. Look forward to
what are you
doing
doing?
that.
Just hanging out? You going?
I got to go do
something in a suite or something?
Yeah, suite appearance.
You gonna stop and see the guys? You gonna pop in?
We'll see. Tim, you never know with me.
Okay.
Because I don't like traffic. So if I can get in there early, I always go see them before the game, right? So if they have a good game, then I can always take credit, right?
Right.
And if they have a bad game, it's not my fault. I was never there. No, it'll be interesting coming down to the end, and I mean it's been exciting. Next year's going to be exciting. This summer with this team with the youth, it'll be interesting to see. I think Anthony Siu and Larkin have 28 goals, so if they can get to the 30-goal mark, it'll be great for those kids.
Now, they haven't screwed up their lottery position, right?
They're trying to. They're trying real hard, but I just wait.
The other teams are.
I know, but what I tell everybody, just wait till the last day because the way that Batman hockey is, the parody and whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, but a few weeks we'll have a playoff preview show, and other than that, it's been 2 days, fellas. 2 very, very good days. I think I can't think of 2 better ways to break in a brand new studio that I look forward to spending a lot of time with you guys in, and with the listeners at home, whoever joined us tonight on Facebook, Grind Time Live, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You can catch us at grindtimepodcast.com, anywhere that you can get podcasts, iTunes, Spotify,
Stitcher,
everywhere. YouTube. We on YouTube too?
Now we're on YouTube.
We're on YouTube now, so check us out. Email at grindtimepodcast. You can always blow Perry's email up at perry@grindtimepodcast.com. I say thank you to you fellas, and for this March 27th, end of the month, first quarter of the year, as we have just entered spring, as I come up on my 47th birthday on Monday. Remember, folks, no matter how many times you fall down, get your ass back up. Grind time, out.
There we go.